to trust? Can Northern Nigeria build civic resistance that is and impose to seize and and Northern citizens understand that their struggles is different, but the demand is the same: dignity, justice, security, accountability, and a country that works. That is the conversation for today. This has been started on. I am Lima. Thank you for watching. Stay with S24 and bye for now.
Power meets purpose. The Second Liberty Symposium takes center stage at the Graduate Center, Abuja, 16th of June 2026. In an era of emerging realities, this is not dialogue for optics. It is a strategic multi-stakeholder, high-level, outcome-driven platform for frank engagement, bold ideas, and tangible development. Government, policy advisors, business, civil society, leaders together redefining the next Northern Nigeria, aligning with the media ecosystem, economic cast, and narrative control platform. The Second Liberty Symposium theme: Imagining the North, media, productive power, and the making of the next Northern Nigeria. Tangible development demands narrative precision. Economic expression demands coordinated messaging. Media is no longer just support structure. It is core infrastructure. It is investment system. It is perception capital. The next Northern Nigeria will not emerge by chance. It will be designed. Be in the room where the North defines itself.
Date 16th of June 2026. Venue: Yar'Adua Center, Abuja.
The Second Liberty Symposium: Reimagine the North, Reclaim the Narrative, Rise to Reset the Future. On Via, between people on the tables of Atara Communications.
My name is Dr. Halima Bello. I'm a consultant obstetrician gynecologist here in Gwarimpa General Hospital, FCT, Abuja, and I'm a fistula surgeon. For sarcovaginal fistula, obstetric, as the name goes, has to do with pregnancy and the journey of pregnancy. Most of the times, it's due to prolonged labor. We call it prolonged obstructed labor, a labor that has gone on and on without a delivery, and there's no intervention to get that baby out until probably the baby dies. The woman suffers. For most of them, the history is that they've had labor for 2 days, 3 days, yeah, some of them 5 days, surprisingly, yes, as long as that. So they have labor for so long, they don't get delivered until probably the baby die in their wombs, and then after that, they develop the fistula. Some actually develop it, after the long stay of this labor, they go to hospitals probably before they are attended to, after being attended to. In the process, they get surgical complications. The situation can, like all the things, they don't end up delivering in the hospital. So you will see a large number attending antenatal, a few number coming to the hospital for delivery. Secondly, even if they're going to come to the hospital, they come to the hospital late. Sometimes the labor has gone on, the destruction has started, for whatever reason, probably sometimes finance. Most of them give us reasons that it's because of finances. They didn't get money. They feel, people get afraid of coming to the hospital even before they are billed. They feel when they come to the hospital, they'll be billed. So, but they don't even come to know what it entails to get themselves out of that situation until when it has happened. So there's that fear of coming to the hospital, and then again, some people feel that when they come to the hospital, they have to queue up, wait for so long, waiting time is so long that they can, people have many reasons anyway why they don't go to the hospital. But also, the socioeconomic status too. Let's be realistic, the is a very, very high. So we have the transportation to the hospital. Sometimes they go are not accessible. Before a person gets himself or herself out of where she's living to the hospital, main hospital, it might take her hours. Once you are known to have fistula, you are so stigmatized that not just depression, psychosis has happened to years in some way, why they get depressed because they can't do anything in their lives. You're not sick, as people will say, you're not sick. Yes, you're not sick. You're really sick inside because you can't just do anything like every other person does. You don't have a freedom to associate with people. You don't have, but sometimes you don't even have the freedom to even sell in the market. That is how bad it is. People don't want to buy from you. So if people don't buy from you, how do you survive? Then when you go to places, you're being stigmatized. People don't want to stay around you. You feel you're smiling. So the life, in fact, the quality of their life is really bad. So some of them unfortunately go into prostitution, destitute, so many things. Some of them have been so-called outcasts, witches, so many things. And then it even prevents you, even if you're a working class lady, you have such a problem. It's even worse. You can't go to work. And every time you go to work, you're feeling so insecure that probably as I'm sitting, I'm wet or I'm smelling or this, and you don't have a quality of life until you're away. It's really something that restore their at least their dignities, because once you stop leaking, your dignity is restored in any way. Yeah. So then we do have NGOs, governments, all forms of bodies that help in rehabilitating them and integrating them back into the society, because you don't just finish repairing and then the situation is still there. If you repair her and she still cannot go back to her community or she still cannot be useful to herself, then there's still a problem. But when you repair her and that issue is settled, the next thing is that she needs to be rehabilitated, she needs to be integrated into society, and it becomes history. There might be some fields that there are equipment in town, there are new personnel in town. Yeah, I know that. But for fistula, I'm not sure that we have been there yet. We sincerely need to do a lot more, because if you see a patient with fistula, it tells us about our maternal mortality. So if our maternal mortality is nulliparous, we're having so many cases of fistula. Why? So that will give the answer to whether we have an improvement. Yes, that will give an answer, because I see that our younger doctors are even leaving the country. We that were in the fistula now, we are getting older, we are getting tired. The younger ones that keep coming, I can't point out 5 young doctors that are interested in fistula. Yes, I can point them out to you. They are not in it, because one is the field is a difficult field. You come, you walk, and these things are not finishing. They're just coming, and it's just damage and damage keep coming, and then leave. Who does it after? Who takes over afterward? And anybody can fall a victim to this. So what happens if it happens? So I think it's something that we should take seriously in this country, so that we can do this thing. But what we need the most is prevention, because sincerely, if this thing is not prevented from there and it comes here as we continue to do this thing. And this prevention is not about the health workers alone. The health workers should be involved, the government should be involved, the parents should be involved, the children should be involved, the pregnant women should be involved, the husbands should be involved, everybody should be involved. I was surprised when I came into the system, came to the field, and saw that there are really many of them living with so many years. So I see that this fistula is there, and we should not let that aspect. We should take it very seriously, because every woman that is affected with this fistula, the whole family is affected. The whole family is affected, and every woman that is happy in a family, you see that the whole family is happy. So I just want the world to know that with good prevention, this will be history. It is history in other countries now. We see less of fistula, especially fistula, in many other countries. Why are we still having it here in Africa?
On the rolling hillside of Ngong, towering winds turbine spin against the Kenyan sky, releasing clean energy and helping power country's future. But beyond the electricity they generate, these turbines stories also tell another story. One of women engineers breaking barriers and proving their places in industries traditionally dominated by men. Kenya's renewable energy. Kenya's renewable energy journey. Standing beneath the turbines, she reflects on the significance of seeing a vision become reality. For Jennifer, the projects represent years of advocacy and learning. At the time when renewable energy was still viewed with caution, she sought specialized training in Sweden, where she studied wind power technology and modeling. Today, as turbines rotate across the landscape, Jennifer says the greatest reward is seeing an idea shape benefits communities.
And on this point, in seeing these wind farms turning and generating clean energy for the country, I feel very happy and very gratified. And I feel that this is an example that all the countries need to emulate.
While Jennifer is helping drive Kenya's renewable energy ambitions, another woman engineer is transforming waste into opportunity. Inside a bustling Nairobi factory, engineer Nzambi Mati oversees the production of eco-friendly paving blocks made from recycled plastic waste. Our company turns discarded plastic into durable building materials, offering both environmental and economic solution. But success has not come without challenges. Nzambi says women in technical fields often face additional scrutiny beyond the demands of the work itself.
It's a very manual labor intensive sector. Logically speaking, as a woman, you're kind of on the disadvantaged end. So you find what your male counterpart can do, you can only do maybe half, especially when it comes to like physical lifting, like a lot of physical elements. And so you find from an employer perspective, it's expensive to actually hire women.
Manufacturing remains socially demanding, but Nzambi has built a thriving enterprise while challenging assumption about who belongs on the factory floor. Despite those realities, she continues to innovate, proving that engineering can be a powerful tool for solving environmental challenges.
As a woman engineer, I'm able to tell my story and I'm able to indicate that wind power is feasible energy source. And for me also, the organization trained me. So I went to Sweden in Malmo to learn about wind power technology. And when we were there, we were also taught how to do wind power modeling. And now when I came back with that knowledge, I was now empowered to even be able to convince the organization the fact that we must balance our energy by using some renewable and non-renewable methods. And when you come and you see a project that we initiated has taken ground and it is working and it is an example and it is being looked upon by the citizens and by other people, you get so much joy from a career. I can't say that as an engineer, I've had a very, very fulfilling work as a profession.
Back at Ngong, mentorship is helping open doors for the next generation of women engineers. Among those benefiting is civil engineering graduate Linda Lechuma, who says guidance from experienced professionals has been invaluable.
We, as at the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, we are big on mentorship. And personally, under the mentorship of Engineer Jennifer Gate, I have learned quite a lot. I work with her in the Women Engineers Committee at the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. One thing I have learned from her, truthfully and honestly, is that young people need to be given an opportunity to walk into rooms where decisions are being made. Nothing really fully prepares you for how difficult it's going to be there, but I guess what sustains you there is the passion that you have. And I guess the belief in that you're a STEM person, you love the sciences, the mathematics, and everything all in between. That just kind of makes it fun.
Linda believes young engineers need opportunity to participate in decision-making phases and gain real experience. First commitment and intern and community engagement Africa?
The one award from the Federation of African Engineer Organization as a woman engineer with excellence in practice. And I think that award is based on some of these things that I've done, because I've gone to so many communities, because currently I work for 8 countries. In all these 8 countries, every time I take that vision of mine of supporting the local solutions.
From renewable energy projects on Kenya's hillsides to innovative recycling factories in Nairobi, women engineers are shaping industries and inspiring future generations. Their work is helping empower homes, reduce waste, create jobs, and expand opportunity for others. And as Kenya continues to grow, these women are proving that innovation is strongest when everyone has
Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos, a city many describe as chaotic, is where Amanda Etuk sees opportunity.
The city encourages you, like you can't even relax. The person next to you has come up with something else. People that you see people online, oh, I've been in Lagos for 1 year, I've just got my God, I made my life. So there's always something to do as people say, ginger you in Lagos.
Didn't initially set out to change Nigeria's supply chain system. With a pharmacy degree from the University of Lagos, she was simply interested in solving problems. The problems in Nigeria's logistics market valued at over $22 billion as were heard. A prestige accelerator supporting Africa's mid-stage high-growth companies. She became program director, overseeing the organization's $2 million catalytic fund.
Going into the mentorship program was actually what changed it for us. How we need to see things different, kind of approach we need to engage in, and how we need to sustain sustainable period of time. So yes, I think probably that round is going to definitely
impact is significant. Its alumni have raised more than 55 million, achieving an average of threefold year-over-year revenue growth since 2019.
Last 2024, the Africa Venture Capital Association reported $3.6 billion, that's billion with a B, in total deal size, right, deal volume. And this was across 450 deals on the continent. So that is a significant number, anyhow you choose to look at it.
For Etik, though, the reward is not just the numbers, it's the ripple effect of growth.
I think my purpose really is to help birth things. That's really my purpose, and doing this gives me joy. Talking to entrepreneurs and being able to contribute one aspect to their growth, it makes me happy. It keeps me up at night and it keeps me going in the morning. You know, you might have a very difficult day and get a great message from an entrepreneur. I say, oh, I was able to negotiate this opportunity based on our conversation.
From transforming last mile logistics to shaping the next generation of African scale-ups, Amanda Etuk is using problem solving to rewrite what's possible for entrepreneurs on the continent.
Hello and welcome to Spotlight On, right here on S24 television, where we sit with minds and makers shaping the future of our society. Today, our spotlight falls on a man whose journey bends across science, education, and public service. Trained in physics at the University of Abuja, turned to advanced study in mathematical physics at the Post-Friendship University of Russia and has publicly documented research in condensed matter and graphene-related work. Yet his story did not remain in the laboratory. It moved into classrooms, communities and government, from education delivery under BESDA to science, technology and innovation leadership in Gombe State. This is a conversation about more than one man's resume. It is about whether science can speak the language of governance, whether innovation can lead policy papers and touch ordinary lives, and whether a technocrat can survive the turbulence of public office without losing the discipline of evidence. Professor Abdullahi Boppa Ahmed, thank you for joining us on Spotlight On. Today we're going to probe from the beginning, where it all started, because firstly, the foundation is very key in every situation. If we take a look at from Shamaki science, you have going to be a beauty of academic foundation in physics, before moving into advanced work in mathematical field. When you look back now from where you started, what first pulled you towards science? Wonder, discipline, ambition, or the need to solve real life problems?
Curiosity. I grew up being someone who likes to solve problems, and if you're in science, you solve a lot of problems. So, and that's what pushed me towards sciences.
Oh, so it's curiosity. That's the simple answer. So Russia, and worldview, as you heard from someone, you went all the way. You studied in Russia, and in a later public interview, you linked that experience to your belief in automation and smarter public systems. What did Russia teach you, not just academically, but mentally, about order, scale, and what functioning institutions look like for our current climate?
Well, I think changed my perception and understanding the world, and I believe it has done that to a lot of people that went to Russia. You have a complete change of mind. You have a complete change of philosophy when you go to Russia, because you're dealing with people that believe in their own selves, that believe in, yes, they can do it alone. And that is what Russia has taught me, to move like just a one army, because it's to move with a lot of things, but one person is solving them. You have a lot of problems and one person also. For example, if you see how the Russians are, managing the sanctions at the same time, but when you go to Russia, you hardly feel the sanction. When you see Vladimirovich Putin, trying to push the world to its knees, someone who the world think they can finish him within 48 hours, but still they remain the superpower they used to be, even then during the Soviet Union. So I think going to Russia has entirely changed my perception about the world. I think you need a team to succeed, but I believe you can do it alone.
Do it alone. Now, reality as Nigerians, and if we go back to Gombe State, do you think that's really possible? Because one man, especially if it is in government, will not be able to do a lot of things.
Yeah, it's doable. You see, when you go to Gombe, for example, let me speak the language people understand in Gombe, Kogizo. The governor of Gombe State is a man that, people see him a kind of a controversial man, a kind of someone who is very tough, and he goes his own way to do things, and that is why he has achieved a lot of things within the 7 years. You think he has done like 10, 14 years in government, because he believes in moving the path alone. What I mean alone is you have your ideas and you move it, and when you have where you want to go, some ideas or confusions or distractions don't change your path, and that is what I'm saying. You can move alone once you are determined.
Would like to know, who is Governor Inuoyahaya to you, because it seems there is a good or cordial relationship, and people would like to know, who is this person to you, if you start from maybe personal relationship before election to the electioneering period, and also to when you were appointed in different capacities?
Yeah, to me, Muhammad is more than he's a father to me. Someone who believes in me when a lot of people don't have that confidence in me. Someone who brought out the beauty, who brought out the best of me. Someone I believe who has changed my life from where I were before, and to where I am today. Someone I see him as, you know, a game changer in my life. Muhammad Yunus is an institution himself. Muhammad Yunus is someone that I've studied just like I studied physics. I know when he's happy, I know when he's angry, I know when he wants to see me, I know when he doesn't. And I know, you know, his body language, I know his emotional intelligence. And this is someone I can tell you, I can, I can interpret his side, I can interpret, you know, how he looks at you, are you welcome or not? So he's someone who always wants to see the best out of you.
That's a long thing to talk about.
Yes.
How long did it take you to understand the governor like this? Because it seems like you've read a whole book and you put everything in it.
I did a kind of study, I took my, you know, primary and secondary data from his friends, and also my own interaction with him, personal interactions. And because the first time he gave me appointment, and a friend told me that, okay, you are going to deal with a kind of complex person. He is not yet, but he's complex. I don't understand. I said, you have to understand what he wants from his own body, you see from his own body reactions. So, and again, I decoded something prior to the elections. Sometimes you see him, you come close to him, he will be smiling. Sometimes you see him, you know, frowning at you. So I said, okay, this man, I think I need to study him very well. So that was when I had a lot of interaction with his friends, with his family members, and also my own interaction with him. And that was what makes me, I can predict what he will do next. And, you know, I'm sure he will do it because I have studied him. And that's a person that doesn't want you to put more pressure on him, to always be close to him. He likes you to give him space. Distance. He likes this distance, you know, relationship. So by doing that, that was why you see our relationship with him is very, very cordial. You go to him whenever he needs you. Whenever he doesn't want you to be with him, just give him that space. Mm. So this is the kind of a person Muhammadu Inuahaya is, and he's a perfectionist, as I told you. When he starts something, he wants to see it 100% done, completed, and he doesn't want to give you a job and you'll be sleeping day, you'll be lazy. No, he likes hard work. That's why if you work with him, we always say the reward of hard work is more work. So if you do very good work, he has a good job for you. And that is why, based on that, he promoted me to commissioner. I'm not even the chairman of SUBEB, but just coordinating the project. But you can see, because he believes in the job we did, that was why he promoted us again to the highest rank you find in the state, the executive council member. So this is the kind of a man that I told you, he's a father, he's a role model, he's a mentor, and I can tell you that he is everything that I am today.
Okay, so the scientists in government, a lot of people can teach theory, far fewer can move from equations and models into public administration. What was the inner shift for you when you left the lecture room and entered government? What did you have to unlearn?
Well, I've never left the lecture room. I've always been here. Someone who has, the best ideas, so to say. I believe that things I see, whenever I see something, that I know how to cope and I know how to automate a lot of things. Whenever I see things, I see them for example, my own way of and let me give you an example. When we came in 2019, prior to the election, the governor and all the elections were not successful. So in 2019, we came up with an idea of having an election situation room. And so if we want to do that election situation room, what do we need to do? We need to do something entirely different that has, never been implemented or applied in our election in Gombe State. And that was why then we applied a normal, Excel to collate our results even before INEC, announcing their results. So we did that alone. So we thought differently. We brought our ideas from the university that we think we need to collate our result electronically, even before INEC, collating their own. So we did it across all the 11 local governments, all of the polling units. We developed a simple Excel that gives us information from the polling unit to the wards collation centers, and to the state, centrals to Rome. And that has been a game changer in the politics of Gombe State.
That's really interesting, because for one, I believe that a lot of people think that's impossible. So why Education Fast? You were appointed coordinator of BESDA in Gombe, a program aimed at tackling out of school learning gaps. Why did education become such a defining part of public service identity?
Coming from the northeastern part of Nigeria, you know that we have this gap when it comes to education. And even though we have the, Sangaya education, but it's not, recognized. But the fact that Western education came all over and took everything. When you go to northern Nigeria, a lot of people study only secondary school level, and that's all. And it was later on that a lot of people started going to universities, having diplomas. So when you go to northern Nigeria, according to the needs assessment of 2014, it shows that Gombe State is part of the states that are having a lot of out-of-school children, and the need to enroll them back to school was the kind of agitation that had been there for decades, but there was no access until when the governor came on board. And one of the mandates of His Excellency Alhaji Muhammadu Inuaha is to return, over 450,000 out-of-school children back to school. According to the baseline data we have over 450,000 out-of-school children. So we come up with an idea on how to reduce this number of out-of-school children and give equitable access, for children that have been, so to say, marginalized, and also to improve the literacy level. Even those that are in school need to have improvement in their literacy, because you find people in primary 5 but cannot write, cannot blend letters. So that was the idea. And for me, who has been in the system, who have a lot of programs that has to be out of school, so when we have the idea with I found it was an opportunity to also give my own contribution. And that was how we started, by identifying the areas that has the highest number of out-of-school children and the schools that have proximity with these people. We started with sensitization advocacies, and the parents accepted and started enrolling them back to school gradually, and came up with another easy, pedagogy that they will easily understand and have. For example, we came up with the idea of Mukuma.
Go back to school.
Yes, so that was, I believe, also it was a game changer. And there was this pedagogy of NEI came with it's a kind of an accelerated learning approach. And when you go to school, it's very easy to learn with music, with this, and so for them is to learning blending words, blending how to read, right? Because as I said earlier, you find in primary 6, but he cannot. There was the approach was the problem. So that new approach we came with is what police call Yabida. Everybody would be singing so they say, okay, what is that nana? How do you blend the nana? Nana gives you nana. So just so with that, yeah. So because of that song, a lot of them started reading, writing, and it was a game changer in the history of education in Gombe State.
That's really lovely. Now let's go from classroom to code. In your public remarks, you framed your focus on education plus ICT modernization with a push toward e-governance and automation. For many Nigerians, that sounds good on paper. What does it actually look like in practice in a state like Gombe?
Yeah, you see, now a lot of governance is not easy, and you find our governors are always traveling here and there, meetings and so on. So, and for you to even sit down with your team, for you to even have files moving, for you to, have a kind of a meeting every day with your team, it's going to be difficult. So, and again, in the public service, sometimes files, you say, where's this file? They say, the file is missing. Oh, where's this file? For you've seen it in this place. It's even difficult for you to track a movement file. So now once you automate all this, it's very easy for you to even have a file that has been there for like 20 years. You can just within a click put the file number, all the information to come. For example, a commissioner would like to send a memo to His Excellency, just for him to type his memo and forward it, to the governor, and the governor sees this. If he likes, he recommends for the discussion, or he approves, or he reroute the letter. You don't necessarily need to see the governor directly, and your file has been given, and you can track the file. Is it in the governor's office? Is it in the finance? So these are things that automation has brought into governance. This is thing that we believe, if all government activities will be automated, a lot of gaps bridged. And that was what I told you earlier, that a lot of ideas that we've seen abroad and which are doable here locally, and with that automation we've started, a lot of things have changed. A lot of people used to have difficulty in the governor, and even the governor sometimes will be in another place and he wants to have a meeting. It's going to be difficult for him to
put together.
Yes, once you just within a click, a memo or a message will be sent. That's so minutes or hours you're going to have meeting with His Excellency, so you'll be ready. And sometimes you see a government official want to send a message and they say His Excellency has not been on seat for 2 weeks. It's very easy for him to just send a message, and the governor sees it and he replies very easily. And you can't see why the file is missing, because you can track your file, you can see where the file is.
Now, let's quickly brush through building digital infrastructure in a low-resource environment. The ministry publicly pursued ties with Galaxy Backbone, and later got a partnership with Naseni to support prototype and commercialization. What were you trying to build beneath the titles, skills, infrastructure, credibility, investment, all of the above?
Yeah, all of the above. You see, when you go to northern Nigeria, you find that the infrastructure deficit is just visible in Gombe State. The IT, for example, there are places that up to now they are connected. The funds are not there, and that is what Galaxy is to do. Also, you look at some areas that you have, the literacy level in terms of digital literacy level is very, very low. So we are trying to reach out to them using NIDA, because with NIDA you have digital literacy programs that will enhance their knowledge, and because you have a permanent secretary or a director that doesn't have the technical know-how. Now that we are migrating to e-governance, so without building their capacity, without them having this technical know-how, without them improving their digital skills, it's difficult for you to migrate. And also, we have the talent that we did. You have a lot of people with the talent, but there is no access. So we create that door, we create that access for them, to meet with the people outside, the gladiators, the people that, can give them what they have. And that's why we are collaborating with the same sister agencies. Yeah.
So now let's look at the burden of expectation. When people look at technocrats, they often expect clean answers to IT problems, especially has profit.
And Nigeria is a country that is very, very great, that has a lot of opportunity. So it back and start thinking, it's not going to happen. You need to come in and make it happen. So that's why I said it's very, very possible, and we are hopeful that one day we are going to have a greater country.
So when your time in office, public life is eventually assessed, what would matter to you? Titles, policies, policy science systems built on minds that you change.
Minds that have changed.
And if a young boy from Gombe is watching you today, he is curious on pose and maybe estimating you want him to understand about knowledge, power, and purpose.
Nothing comes easier. You need to work and dedication. The reward of hard work is more work.
That's true. The reward of seriously, you know the way to work. You're always getting more work. We used to do something called rapid fire. It's just simple answer, yes or no, simple sentence. So let's quickly go over it so we can call it speed. The first one is physics or politics.
Oh, physics.
Why?
It makes me think a lot.
Okay. Equation or executive memo?
Oh, I'll go for equations.
Okay, lab coat or abada?
Both.
Okay, one word for Gombe's future. Just one word.
One word for Gombe future. A greater Gombe in the future.
Just one word.
One word for Gombe future.
Yeah.
I think I'll use the governor's word of Kogizo.
Kogizo. Okay, still 3 words. Anyways, technology in Nigeria is still underrated.
Cybersecurity.
Okay. And one public myth about innovation you dislike.
It's just tough.
It is, but it needs answer because scientists
like
are always
social
smart.
media, it's an innovation, but it has destroyed a lot of people.
And one book every young leader should read.
Wow. Like I think it's book 48 Laws of Power.
Okay, 48 Laws of Power. Okay, I think I've seen something briefly about the book. And one thing academia taught you that politics did not.
Standing firm.
Standing firm. Okay. One thing politics taught you, again, that you will be able to apply in your real life.
Patience.
Patience. And data or instinct. Your instinct or data?
Instinct.
Instinct. Bro, science people used to cherish data a lot. Okay. Okay. Silicon Valley, Moscow, or where do you learn the hardest lesson?
Moscow.
Moscow. That's where you see, so it's possible.
Yeah.
Most important quality in leadership: intelligence, courage, or restraint?
Courage.
Courage. Okay. If not a physicist, what would you have been?
Mathematician.
It's smart of you. I think study mathematics, so yeah. What should outlive you? Your office, your ideas, or your example?
Wow. My ideas.
That should outlive anyone. Your ideas and the kind of impact they make in people. The last one, if you're to give a young person maybe an advice on the way to steer their life, what would it be in just one sentence?
Always try to be honest. No matter how difficult it is, no matter how much you pay, just be honest.
Thank you. Professor Abdullahi, thank you so much for joining us. And yours is a journey that refuses easy labels. It is the story of a scientist who stepped into society's unfinished work, of a mind trained in theory, but tested in reality, from research to and knowledge really serve the public good. This has been Spotlight on S24 television. My name is Halima Abdulrauf. Tonight, we leave you with this thought. Sometimes the brightest minds are not the ones who escape the system, but the ones who enter it and dare to build it in the best way possible. Bye for now.
For decades, golf in Kenya was seen as a sport reserved for men, the wealthy and the well-connected. But on the rolling greens of Thika Greens Golf, women are stepping onto the course